People, back again. I normally don't do videos this close together because, quite frankly, I've got very little to talk about. But I was watching a video today, and it kind of got me thinking about my good mate down in Australia, who you guys all know as Matoxdeepshadows. And I figured that I'd give you a bit of a genesis story between myself and Maddox. When I moved over here, when you move countries, if you're an Aussie and you've moved countries, or anyone else who's moved countries, you kind of think that once you get settled, you get into the run of how things work, you find that when you start to get a little bit homesick, not necessarily looking to go back or wanting to go back, but when you hear the accent, or when you see something that you've forgotten that was very commonplace in your life before you moved, it kind of makes you think about back home. So I don't know how quite the internet works, but it was one of those days that I remember feeling particularly homesick, whether it was I'd spoke to an old friend or something happened. And I flick on YouTube to, kind of drink myself into some type of stupor and just watch some videos. Anyway, I see this fucking guy get up there. He's got a big bushy beard. His hair's all wild and he's sinking piss. And lo and behold, this fucking accent comes out his mouth that is like, fucking hell. Like it almost was like, like a warm hug. It was bizarre, but I sat there and I watched him, slow through a bunch of records that he'd had and talk about the shit that he listens to, and, very entertaining guy. So I reach out and I say, listen, it's good to hear, an Australian doing this. And it kind of made me a little bit, homesick seeing that, because when he talks, Australia has different dialects. Like, he sounds different to me. You might not think so, but like, if you're an Australian, like, he sounds different to me. Queensland sounds different to Sydney, and I'm from Sydney. So he's got a broader accent, I would say. And it was just one of those things where I have a friend who speaks very similar to Matt. And I reached out, said, it's good to see him, made me a little bit reminiscent of home. And he shot a message back, thanks for watching, all that stuff. So as his videos went on, we chatted a little bit more. And I don't quite remember how it started. He might have said something in regards to that, he had written some songs or something. Actually, yeah, that's how it went. And he sent me maybe like a clip, like, of something that he'd done. And he was trying to get, like, whether it be the guitar sound right or the vocal sound right. And he went into one of those just off the cuff, things that he does. And it was so cool. I was like, listen, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind using that sample in like one of my songs. And he's like, yeah, do whatever you want with it. So I had a song that I'd been working on, which I haven't put out on anything, but it was called Arm the Battalions when I was writing it. And he'd heard it, and I was like, as soon as I heard this vocal performance that he threw back, I was like, I know exactly where this is fucking going. So I redo that whole song, replay all the drums, change around fucking bridges and verses and choruses, and I lay Matt's vocals in the middle section of this song. And it just sounds like this crazed soldier or commander in this war just screaming at the enemy, threatening them that he's going to come and get them and he's going to kill them all. And it just fucking fit so well. So with like machine gun fire going under it and bombs dropping, we did this song. And I sent it back to him and he was like, that's fucking awesome. And I'm like, I'm going to put this out. Next thing that I do, I'm going to put it out, which, you know, I didn't end up doing. But I'm going to get out this year with a bunch of stuff that I'd been working on around the same time. But what I am proud of is that he kind of knuckled down just with an idea of, you know, playing a song and sending it over, and pretty much wrote, you know, I think it might have been like 5 songs and sent them over piece by piece. And there is a rumor that actually let me show you the pinnacle, the product of the work that he did. This just came in today. Now, Fomorian Productions, who I'm a part owner with Shredbeard, we decided that we were going to bring this on because, being that I was a big fan of raw black metal, I thought this was just that much. It's the most unhinged thing that I'd heard since one of my Forbidden Files releases. All right, and that shit is just off the wall. So this here is the same thing, but you can tell it's just got alcohol fuel as its main driving thing all the way through it. So this just came in today from the press, all right? So can you get that? Let me take it out of this fucking glary ass cover so you can see it. Okay, so this is Matt's demo. This is Inebriated Winds. Okay. Picture on the back. It's fucking cool. It's cool as shit, all right? It's got this track listing. And these are kind of limited too, all right? Because we have to do this thing where we have to ship physical media backwards and forwards from the States to, and that's the CD, if you want to check that out. Can you see it? It's got his logo in the middle of it. It's all fucking grunged up. So we have to send things backwards and forwards from Jersey to Australia, which is a fucking headache when you consider postage international is can get up there. So he writes these songs, sends them over, and Fomorian picks it up straight away. I said, you really got to put this out because it's fucked up. It's got like some real kind of loose, almost Aussie pub rock black metal in it, which is hard to put another band and say, if you're a fan of this, you're going to like this. If you're a fan of really kind of harsh, ballsy, no thin fucking guitars on this one, ballsy black metal that's just got some fucking teeth, then this is the one. And I saw that and I was like, yeah, we need this, right? We need to put this in because it's different to what I do, you know, where I guess mine is a more direct sound. This one's like a fucking shotgun. It's just bang, it's just on you. And there is a rumor that I played drums on this album. I don't know who started it, but I cannot confirm or deny it. But it's one of those rumors that gets people hurt, and I won't stand for it. Matt's a good guy. Bullshit like that just will not be tolerated. So there you go to whoever started that rumor. But this thing is going to go on sale in February. It's going to ship February, I should say. Let me refrain from saying it will go on sale in February because the pre-sale is going to be live on Australia Day. So pre-sale in Australia will be the traditional Australia Day of January 26. But being that I'm a stickler for tradition, or at least celebrating at the same time as everyone else, back here home, we're going to go on sale on a pre-sale on exactly the same day. But for us, it's going to be the 25th, all right? Because they're a day in front of us. So Fomorian Productions has got a website that's going to go live, fomorianproductions.com. It's going to have a bunch of stuff, or the stuff that we have at the moment anyway. But this is going to be on there as a pre-sale. It's not going to start shipping until February, right? But this is one of those ones you may want to get in and get your grubby hands on one, because I've got to ship half of these fucking over to Australia. So we've already lost half of them to the Aussies. And we do that because shipping stuff for them, their dollar at the moment is pretty fucking nasty. It's expensive for them. So we're going to ship copies over there to make it cheaper for the Aussies who want to purchase this. And you'll be getting that straight from Matt. So if you want him to fucking wipe his dick across the CD or something, by all means ask him. I'm sure he'll oblige. But very proud to have that on Fomorian. And I'm extremely grateful to have Matt as a friend, especially someone who I can talk about back home and, you know, get my fill of Australia and then jump the fuck off and be glad I'm not there anymore. So I'm happy for him about this. Now, also talking of Fomorian, I wanted to put out there that we are getting people email us and looking for consideration to come onto the label. So to help you out, if you want to email us and put yourself forward and for us to have a look at it, we are not strictly a black metal label. Okay, so other styles of music, please send it through. The weirder the better. We've got pretty broad tastes between the, me and Shred, and then Misanthropy is taking on the back end of all the answering of emails. So if you send an email, it's going to go straight to her and she's going to field it. So she's going to get it first. But to help us all out and to make it so we don't have to do too much digging to be able to listen to your band, when you send the email or you send the message through Instagram, if that's the way you want to do it, please include a link to your band. Because there's a few bands that we've gotten that there's 15 of the same band, and for me to find out which one's yours, I've got to go back to your Instagram page. I've got to figure out what your logo looks like, then go find it streaming somewhere so I can check it out. And we're checking out all the bands. We're not just like, looking at them and picking friends bands or something. So it really helps us out if you can add a link to anything you want us to listen to. Also helps to have social media so we can see what you look like, what you're doing, what you have been doing. Are you active? Are you not active? What type of band you are? And also give us a few words about, some of the history of the band. Who's in it? When did you start? Have you released anything else? Things that are special to you guys. Give us some type of story, because it's hard enough for bands to get noticed. But if you just put your name out there and ask for consideration to get, an album out or some type of media out on Fomorian, you're going to want something that's going to have you stand above the rest of the crowd. So do yourself a favor and help us out. Do us a favor by doing yourself a favor. I think that's about it. But I definitely wanted to congratulate Matt. Tell him that, I'm glad that this went all the way through to physical product. Some people start things and don't fucking finish them. And that's annoying, especially, if there's work being put in from one side and then the other person fucking decides to just leave. So it's good to see that Matt stuck this out, did what he said he was going to do. And now the fruit of that fucking labor is his first demo, and I don't think this is going to be the last. The guy's got a passion, so I'm really happy for him. And if you haven't subscribed to Matt's channel, Matoxdeepshadows, he's the only fucking wild crazy man on there that drinks beer and fucking swears every chance he gets, and it's definitely entertainment, more so than a lot of the other channels. But I will say, if you're in the market for some good black metal channels and you don't already watch them, go see Matox. The other one who we love, he's fucking one of those guys that I can't get enough of. I'll rewatch videos again, is White Filth. Okay, if you don't know who White Filth is, He covers such a broad selection of different types of music within the black metal world. He doesn't just stick to one thing. He goes into dungeon synth. He explains what's going on. He explains how he gets it. He's got some interesting stories. He's got really cool interviews with label heads that are really, really interesting, of very, very specific points of view, you know. Norwegian Black Cult. Norwegian Black Cult is our boy. Those pair of hands showing records. Does a ton of controversial albums, and he gets some fucking awesome ones. That's another guy who is like, I see one of those videos pop up and I fucking almost break a neck trying to find the remote to hit play. So they're my good ones. 3 is Maddox, White Filth, and Norwegian. Other ones who I love watching is Radio Free Innsmouth, RFI. Okay, injects a lot of humor into his stuff. Very cool. Again, entertaining. Doesn't just have me sitting there listening to some guy in a monotone talk about albums, you know. So he's interesting, goes real deep into histories of bands. He's got a ton of back episodes, so you'll be fucking spending weeks and months going through his stuff, picking out all these great videos. And a bit of a dark horse, which I know the majority of people I've spoken to haven't even heard of this guy. Now, this is some deep fucking shit. This isn't just looking at albums, though he does do it. He goes into artists like really fucking deep. And I know deep because I've gone through immigration and I feel violated. This guy does the same thing. Dimitri Vampire. Vampire, Vampyr. Dimitri Vampire. Get on and have a look at that. The guy's 100% serious, straight-faced, gives you history, background, goes into the occult, like, as related to these bands, goes deep, deep, deep into French black metal. Like, really, for a young guy, his fucking fingers on that pulse. So go check out some of those channels, support him. And Maddox, congratulations, my friend. I'm glad to see this out. I'm happy for you. Now we can get more drinks. Get back on those fucking videos and let's keep going. All right, so to everyone out there, thank you. Support Inebriated Wins. He's got a YouTube. He's got his own Instagram, Matoxdeepshadows. Go check out his Instagram and his YouTube. As always, for Morian, go over there. We've got our Instagram up. That's going to have a lot of news. You can get on mine in the Warhammer 666. AUSBM, okay? I do have a personal page, which I don't fuck with. It's private, so you can't even get into it, and I very rarely go over there anyway. So you'll see the one that's public. You'll be able to get onto that and follow that straight away. And I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. So go forth and prosper, and don't be a fucking piece of shit, and go subscribe to all those people and fucking drink piss.